Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to share the code for this amazing e-commerce website. So as you see, that's the entirely an e-commerce project for the beginner, even the advanced learner. So you can have it in your portfolio and you can look forward for a perfect job for you. So before sharing and explaining all of the details, I can also share the link for the details, like how you can learn from the scratch step by step. You can see there is a 5 part, then also there is a full stack part there. Besides, there's a lot of project e-commerce build up there. You can feel free to go and watch and learn a lot from there. So feel free to subscribe the channel and like the video to stay tuned. Now this project amazingly built with the front end as the Next.js, and also you're gonna have a backend using Sanity CMS. Now that will be our Sanity CMS studio, from where the banner, product, category, all will just coming from there. Then also we have our Firebase Cloud Firestore, by which we can save the orders according to the users. Now how it will function. So first thing first, if we just make add to cart, as you see I keep several products in the cart. Let's go try to buy it now. And now as you see, I can't purchase it because I need to log in. I can view the cart, but I will not be able to purchase. Let's click on to just to create a login or a sign in portion here. So click on sign in and let's see how we can sign it. Now there is a both option there. You can sign in with Google or GitHub. I will choose to sign in with Google, and after sign in it will land me to my account, and after that I will be able to purchase the amount and then make the cart credential. So now as you see, I can go back to my cart, and from there I can now go to proceed to checkout. So within that parameter, now the Stripe payment authentication, that will gonna take an action by which the Stripe will handle all the operation and can also go and enhance all the compatibility of the transaction. So first let's go try to make the payment. Now I'm gonna just inject my email, and then I'll go with a default cart type of for this Stripe, and let's just do the name. And after payment, what it's gonna do, it's gonna enter this one within my payment directory. It's gonna save the orders within my Cloud Firestore. Then it's gonna also remove, it will make my cart as empty cart, and after that it will save the order in my order details. As you see, my cart is been empty, and also successfully I landed in success screen where your action has been completed completely. If I just check in the orders data now, which will render my order screen like the order page, and here I'll be able to see the order details here. As you see there, you can see the details and you can all the order data and others, and from there also you can delete the order. You can just view the way it's supposed to be. Now this entire things I'm gonna give it to you, but you need to configure it. Like, you're gonna have the code, but if you cannot configure it properly, it will not work. So that's why I'm gonna show you each and every single step and explain how you can configure. If you are having any problem or issue to following that, let me know in the comments. I'll try to reach out and help. Okay, but first, if you cannot configure properly, it will not work. Trust me, it will not work at all. And to do that, first I'm gonna close this one as it's running my localhost 3000. I'm gonna close that, and then I'm gonna roll back to my GitHub repo, that shoppers app YT. That's the repo you need to follow through. From there you can get each and every single code. And to get that, first thing first, you need to, it's very easy if you can fork that one. So simply it will create a repo within your project. So whenever I'm going to update this initial repo, you're going to get a message, and you can just feel free to go and fetch the data. But also fine if you just grab and clone that by using that link. So let's take my directory here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clone that in a very simple way. I'm gonna clone and then restructure the project and build that from the scratch. So write that git clone and paste the code. Remember the code I copied from here, that's the code you need to paste. Okay, so after pasting, hit enter, and it will clone the entire project within the parameter. Okay, if I put ls, you see that it's just cloned already. So let's say cd within that shoppers app YT, and I'm going to open it within the code editor. Also, you can do that by simply go within the project structure and then you can simply open it within your code. Okay, so now first thing what you need to do is to install all the dependency, like the package we have. You need to install all of that by running a simple command, which is npm install. You can view all the packages which is available. We are using the Redux toolkit, Sanity, Firebase, so all the packages is right here. Feel free to explore and you're gonna have a better understanding how those things is working. So write that npm install to install all the package dependency. While it's installing, let us explore something about the project, how we can configure the others. Now in the set of the project, beside that we have types. There's define all the types regarding the project. We have the tsconfig.json and we have also tailwind.config.ts file, by where we are having all the default colors variables, how we can set the colors and how we can configure that. Then we have a sanity.config.ts file, by where the Sanity got the configuration, and also we have the Sanity CLI. Now everything is set up for you. Okay, everything is set. You just need to put the credential and you are good to go. So forget about all of this. Is especially the middleware, the Firebase admin. So forget about all of this. Just check this .env file. There you need to work. What you need to do is that next public Sanity, we need to grab the API version. We need to get the dataset. We need to get the Sanity project ID. Then we need to grab the Auth secret, Google ID, Google Auth secret, and GitHub ID, GitHub secret to run login with the GitHub and Google. Then we need to grab that Stripe publishable key and also Stripe secret key to be able to get the payment. Then also we need to pass that Firebase service account key by to save that orders within our order page. How we can configure all of that, we will go one by one, but let's just install and configure that. While it's doing that, so we can do one more parameter, is to get the Sanity key. How you can grab that? As you see, you need to go directly there, sanity.io, and you need to sign in, and after sign in you should be able to create a project. As you see, after login in Sanity dashboard, now from here you can create a new project. So I'm going to create a dummy project, that just to say dummy. Okay, dummy project, as it will be just for this project. Now I'm going to create the project. So the similar thing, you follow up, you create your project, and then you can follow all the setup, because remember all the schema, especially to run that in the source, especially in that Sanity. As you see in the Sanity, we have schemas. We have the banner schema, we have the category schema, products schema. So all the schema is just written here. So to access that, as you see the project ID, you need to copy that, right? So copy the project ID, go back to the env file, and here as you see the Sanity project ID, that will be your project ID, and the dataset, it will just pass the production dataset. And for the API version, you need to feel free to follow up the current API version, which is really updated. For right now, for this application, what I use is that I use of that API version is 10.10.2024, the October version. So now my Sanity is set, so it will work perfectly as so on. Now also for the auth secret, you can just randomize or get some like 30-bit of number. I will just make something like random number. Okay, instead just keeping the, what you can say, don't use that space. Outside this space, I'm gonna just configure that. So now I have this a few parameter. So let's see if it's installed, still installing. So while it's doing that, also we can now do to create a Google account, right? Because we need to set up our, like, grabbing that auth Google ID, Google secret, and also need to grab that Firebase service account key. We're gonna grab that. How we can grab that? First of all, so let's go our Firebase, let's say firebasegoogle.com. And from there, and don't worry about that, all the link, it will be available in the description. I'm gonna showcase there, so you can just easily grab that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just change my account from there. Okay, let's close the other one, and from here let's go to the console, and I will again open a new application the way I did previously for this one. So create a project, and before running the project, why I'm doing that, because you're gonna have an error without having those credentials, because all are configured, especially the auth. As you see in the auth and also the Firebase.ts, you need to configure that, otherwise your application is gonna fall, it will not run. So you need to configure all of it by default. So similarly, I will just pass a dummy application here. So let's say dummy project, because I'm not going to use that. It's just for you. You keep your name the way you want to make it preferable. I will not use the Firebase Analytics. Okay, it's creating, and yeah, it's still installing because a lot of healthy project is there, so it will take a bit of time. Okay, after that, let's click on continue. Now you will be able to see our dummy project is created, and we are within in the project. Now from here, what I'm gonna do, as you see, is selected for the web. Click on that web particular, and now I need to provide that name again to register my app. So I'm gonna use the similar name, so dummy project, and register the app. And after registering, there is a login authentication parameter which is already configured, because you see the package I have been already here, which will be responsible to install my Firebase admin and others, so there will be no issue. So let's go back here. As you see, I need to grab this portion: API key, auth domain, project ID, storage bucket, messaging sender ID, and app ID. So that's the things I need to grab. So let's go in the Firebase, and by the way, don't use any of the credential which I'm just showcasing here, because later on I'm going to remove all of it and it will not be available for you. So be careful, use your own credential, which will be really helpful for you. Okay, now that one also configure, and I am having my all the project data is run. So I'm going to run simply npm run dev to run this entire project in the development mode. And while it's taking the running parameter, let's come back here, let's continue to the console, and from here I need to open up several things. First thing first, let's click on the build folder, and from the authentication I need to layer it up, because I need to open the authentication to go and use the sign in authentication method. So click on get started. After creating that, see how, okay, it's already started. I'm gonna click that to open. Okay, I'm gonna open that Google one, click it to enable, and from here I need to configure my email, save, and also there is one OAuth configuration, which one it will not be rendered within this parameter. I need to directly use that in for that Google authentication parameter in other sources. So if I click again, I'm going to showcase to you how you can go back from there. As you see, if you click on that, I think it will be yeah, it will be that one, web SDK. As you see, we need to go back to the Google API console. So it's like the console.cloud.google.com. again, the link, it will be like available in the description. I'm gonna hook up that so you can just easily grab there. So from here I need to change my account, because the apps I created, it's not within that account. So as you see, it will not find anything here, but it's gonna grab it here directly. So as the name, as you see, I keep it there as a dummy project. After the authentication, let's just configure, and from there I'm gonna select my all of that app. So I need to find the dummy application which I create. See the dummy project, click on the dummy, and after clicking I need to grab the credential from there. As you see, that's the web client auto generated, like auto created by Google services. That's the one which we enabled that method. That's why it just created by automatically. So we need to grab two parameter. One is that, let's open the env file. One, as you see, the auth details, the error is here. So there is error, so we need to configure the error. You see, yeah, that image URL, because the okay, because we need to submit the image, so we'll sort it out, no worries about it. First we need to configure the auth and others. So now if we go back here, as you see, we need to open, like add one URI. So I'm gonna add that localhost 3000. So let's go here, should be localhost 3000, and that one, it should be localhost 3000 / I think / API. That would be we need to grab that. I think it would be, okay, which one I'm looking. Okay, I change. Okay, that's just got changed. That should be from the dummy project, not this one. So let's just go back again there. I need to add the credential. Okay, the auth URI, that should be that localhost 3000 API auth callback Google, and here in the URI I need to add that localhost 3000. So now if I click on save, it will provide that, okay, the attempt action failed. Okay, I'm gonna reload the project. Maybe something we missed out, that's why it just happened. So try again. I think it would be fine. Okay, that's the dummy project is created, and here I need to pass the API auth callback, and that will be Google. And here I need to pass that localhost 3000, hit save. This time I believe it will save. Okay, auth client saved perfectly. And from there I need to grab that secret and other key. So as you see, that's my auth client ID, which is Rico right now. So let's go back here, and that would be my auth Google ID. And after that I need to grab my auth secret, and that will be my secret right here. So now I have the Google ID, I have the Google secret, and another parameter is that after joining here in the build, I need to add that Firestore database. So that will be responsible to create and grab and give the other properties insofar. So to do that, okay, that one also we can do later on, but first let's go structurize our application layer here. Okay, so the image URL banner.tsx, let's go back in the banner.tsx, should be not there, banner.tsx. What is saying here, the image is not providing the URL. I think it should be a question mark. If it's available, only then it's gonna project it, because right now I don't have any data here, right? So it will having nothing at all. Okay, yeah, what's wrong? That could be, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say is there if like, okay, what's the condition here, single banner image, right? So I'm gonna just pass a condition here, single banner dot image, and it's gonna render that. So I'm gonna push that one also, so it will not find that error at all. It just because I'm not having the product yet, so it cannot configure the banner. So I'm gonna just configure that. So right now you see there is no product at all, because if we just call back, just project that localhost 3000, open our studio here, so we will be able to see our Sanity Studio setup. As you see, it's compiling the studio. So this error, you will not have it, because I'm gonna just grab the check here. So even if the banner is not available, it will not provide you the error. So you will be out of error. But for me, I will just configure that, and I will show you how you can do the other parameter. Now, when you open the studio, you may need to have that using access that course, that localhost 3000, that should be need to be able to, like, once you're building the application, automatically it gonna project there. But as we did it manually, not having the project directly, so now we need to configure the course parameter here. So we will say continue, and it will automatically add the credential to the course, and after that it will redirect me in my application back. Okay, so I will say add course origin. Okay, so it's supposed to be added. If it's not added, you can always find it in the settings. Okay, so let's see if it's adding or not. And after adding, I believe it will also configure your sign-in authentication parameter. You see, yeah, I need to go same. You need to also go and sign in. It will check with the browser, so don't use the other account, the one you are using for the sanity.io. the same account you need to choose, otherwise also it will give us an error. Okay, so now what, as you see, we have everything here. We have 3 data structure, but now we doesn't have any data. So how you can create the data? You can just go over here, you can upload the data, right? So this already described in my video, and you can just feel free to go and watch all the videos how you can configure. You can just go one by one. You can upload your product, you can upload your category, you can do all sort of things to configure the parameter. It's pretty simple, and it's a very easy way to go and work with that. Now what I'm gonna do to just bypass those things, because uploading product, it can be your task, so feel free to do that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change my structure, like the data set and other parameter. It will not work for you. Again, I'm saying it will not work for you, as it's my own project. You know, you don't have the credential. Don't try to copy paste. Try to upload your data, your product, all of your data which need to be uploaded. I will pass the dummy variant so you can see how you can like what kind of data you're gonna have. So you see, this is my product, this all my data. So now after that, we need to also configure. As you see, we have that like next publish stripe key and stripe secret we need to configure, and also we need to get that Firebase service account key to save the data within our account parameter. And to have that, from here I need to create a Firestore database to save the data in our Firestore. So I'll go with the dummy data. Okay, create. Okay, no, I supposed to be to create it in test mode. Anyway, let's see. So I'm gonna choose the test one. You can use the production one if you want, but I'll go with the test parameter. Now it will create my data set, and after creating data set, what I need to do that, okay, enable, okay, there is some some sort of variation you need to act after that. We'll create that later. But one thing I need to follow, we'll go in the project setting, and from there, as you see the service account key, this one we need to configure properly, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna create that service account key that will be responsible to save the product in our, especially in our Firestore database. We're gonna generate a public key. So after generating, like after downloading, that's the key. It will be available in your download folder. So let's go in our project, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab that one in my download folder. Okay, so that will be entirely our things. So as you see, the dummy project ID and others, everything here. What I want you to Control A and Control C to select all and then copy all. And after that, I'm gonna just go to make one that remove the line breaks tool to remove all the line breaks and use it in our env file. And all that particular things I already explained in my video. Feel free to go and watch. Now here, what I need to do to paste that service account key. That's it. So now I have service account key embedded here, by which I'm gonna now inject that Firebase admin key insofar from this parameter. So now I have enabled that Firebase admin parameter here. So with that, we can go and make that things to work. So let's just delete that. And again, so let's go in our Firebase database. We're gonna create database later. So let's roll back to our application. Let's try to sign in. If we did everything all right, we should be able to sign in within our project, because remember, we got the credential from this project layer here, so it's supposed to work. And this is the moment of truth, if it's working or not. Okay, now we are in login, so click continue and click here. After login, we should be redirected to our application page. And by the way, if you just oversee here, especially in the source directory, okay, we logged in. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are logged in. So now we can be able to create like add to cart, and the product, it will be added in the cart. And as you see, we should be able to visit our cart data there. And by the way, if you just roll back to in our source directory here, you will see a lot of things available. First, the app, all our admin and all our routing portion is here. And then our API, where is the auth, checkout, and save order data, like the function is written here by which it will save the product to our database. And then also we have the fonts configuration. We have our global CSS to configure the CSS parameter. Then in the assets, we are having all the images, the banner image, which is using so far here. Then for the components portion, there is all the components is structurable. Feel free to go and explore a bit here. You're gonna find a lot of good things there. We have the constant file, we have the leave to get the data and fetch the data set, and also we have the Redux. That's why we are creating our store, and also we are creating our shopper slice, so that will be available in the Redux. Then we have the Sanity configuration. Now we want to make a payment, but remember, we still doesn't have this key, right? So what you need to do, how you can grab the key, is very simple. As you see, within your application layer, click on developer tools, and from the tools you see here, click on API keys. First you just need to log in and create your application there. So I will take the publishable key from here. So let's go .env file, and here that GitHub you can configure. If you don't know how to configure, let me know in the comments. I'll try to make a separate video. So now I'm gonna just paste that code here. Right now it is here to get the secret key. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy that key, then I'm gonna paste it, and after that I'm gonna remove my I'm gonna close my env file. So now as you see, I have my key. Now have a recap check. This admin email, forget about it, it's not mandatory right now. And the other one, so now we have our next Sanity API version, we have our Sanity dataset, we have our Sanity project ID, we have our next.url, auth secret, auth Google ID, auth Google secret. Then we have our next public Stripe publishable key, Stripe secret key, Firebase account key. So one thing is pending is here to create a dataset. So I think this time we'll be able to create next and start with the test. And yeah, now it will create the project for us. So we will now, as you see, the previous payment is 377.325. So we should be able to create a payment right here. And how we can do that? Let's go back here, proceed to checkout. So after creating, clicking on that, it will successfully, you see the compile properly, everything is working perfectly fine. So now we are heading to our Stripe. So now let's pass that, and we will pass a default card amount information of that. So 123, and let's say test user, and hit pay. So after hitting, if everything configured, as you see, I'm doing with the new project, not the previous one. So if everything working so far, you should be able to get the data, right? You should be able to get each and everything, all the combo, it will perfectly work for you as it's working for me right now, because I'm doing the same, like the getting the data for the same GitHub repo, which I'm gonna share with you. Like it's working, everything gonna work for you if it's working for me. Okay, payment is processing. Please do not press back button, and all the components is clear for you. As you see, it's done. If you just come in this Stripe and just, where is this, our Stripe, and just reload the data, we should be able to see one payment which we have been done right now. And let's see the amount here. Okay, yeah, 4699.98. If you expand that one, you should be able to reload all the details the way we prefer that, as you see. And the products, okay, cool. See the test user, everything is coming right here. And also if you come back here, I want you to reload that particularly to grab that order data, so that it will also forecast the order data, which is just now we are saving in our application layer. As you see, we have a new user, and that user email is registered with that. And then we have the orders, and after the orders, we should be able to get the ID here, and then we are receiving the order. And similarly, if you go back to application, click on the orders, you should be able to see one order is just there, is sticked. So I think, yeah, it's compiling the save order is still there. I think it's just taking a bit of time. So now, as you see, you can show the details, and of course you can delete if you want it to. Now as you see, it's a very simple configuration to have it within your arsenal. Like this repo, and don't worry, it's private, but once the video is uploaded, it will be in public. So don't worry about it, you can clone that one. So now as you see, from just having that repo, just configuring that dot, just you need to configure. Just see two things. You need to configure all of this, and one thing is that you need to configure the Firebase.ts. So there you need to make that fulfill that property, and you are good to go. Now uploading the product, uploading the banner, it should be your duty, you know, so you can have your own entire project, how you want to run it, how you can configure it. So now I think that's a very simple way, and again I'm going to recapping it one more time so that you will understand it perfectly. So first I'm going to close all. What you need to do, once you are having here, like you need to make that npm run dev to install all the dependency, right? After that, you need to focus on that env file, you need to grab that API version, which it will be coming from that directly. You need to create a project here in Sanity. Then you need to find your project ID, and then you can dataset should be the production and API version should be the latest one. That's it. You need to get that it is already injected here. The auth secret, you just create a random numbers for a secret, or you can generate the secret by following that Next.js like next auth documentation or Auth.js documentation. Then we need to configure that Google ID, and remember how we did that. In that parameter you need to focus on create that. Beside, you need to create your application. That's first instance. And after that, you need to also get the Google secret number, then next public stripe publishable key, stripe secret key, and that Firebase service account key. You can just get it from the project. You see, I told you already, from the project, from the service accounts key. By simply clicking here, it will download and you can use within your application layer. So now, if you focus on that, you have everything like to having a full stack application. You have all the simple purposes. Now you can add more thing. You can see the payment status is paid. You can make it not paid or cash on delivery. You can explore a lot of things here. Okay, this up to you how you want to configure it. Now that's my job to provide this code for you so you can understand, you can explore and understand in a better way. And if you want to explore more on that, then feel free, watch those videos. That will really make a sense to you, and you can understand how to do it from this scratch and how you can create all of this perfectly. Okay, there is a part by part and also having the full part, so that can make you help to understand better. So I think that's all to configure this project for you. And if you are feeling that really helping for you, this entire code really letting you learn something new and helping you to build something perfect, so please like the video and subscribe the channel. It will be really helpful, and I'm gonna see you with another video.